Welcome to it. Yesterday, I told you that there is a fight coming and that you better be ready today. You better know what you believe in, know who you are, know that there is divine providence, and know where you stand on the issues and what is important to you. There is a new movement that is starting, and this is only one of them. And I told you that you're going to see things happening in Congress, or I said you're going to see things happening in Washington and in our nation that you've never seen before. You have a constitutional crisis in the works because we are announcing today that the House, I met with them yesterday or the day before and spoke with them again yesterday. The House has had enough. And the House of Representatives, the Tea Party coalition, and the Constitution coalition have had enough. And I have never seen the resolve before, like I saw a couple of nights ago with Pat when we were in Washington. I have never seen their understanding so crystal clear that the country is on the brink and it is over if we don't act. As I spoke to them in Washington, usually I hear, well, the next election, and we've got a position for this. This time it was screw the next election. We don't have a next election, with one that a GOP could ever win. And it's because the GOP has abandoned all of their principles. They have said before that the GOP is in revolt. It is officially in revolt. And you will understand by the end of the program today. In 2007, John McCain tried to push through in Congress a bill granting amnesty for illegal aliens. The American people pushed back so hard, the politicians backed off and the bill died. Since then, the economy has suffered. Unemployment has skyrocketed. The national debt has soared. And once again, in 2013, the national politicians, this time led by Senator Marco Rubio, are seeking amnesty for illegal aliens. Illegal aliens is exactly what they are. I don't care what any member of Congress tries to tell us what we're supposed to call people. They are illegal aliens. Name of this representative.
This is how bad this is and what we're up against here, because Congressman Bobby Rush has urged all of his colleagues to stop using the highly offensive word illegal during the immigration debate.
Illegal aliens. You are here illegally. You came across the border illegally. If you didn't come across the border, then you're not an illegal alien. If you came across the border in the middle of the night, you came that way knowing that it was illegal.
But it's wrong to speak truth now.
It is 2 + 2 = 5. And finally, as we will show you, there are several Republicans that are standing up in the House, and it is going to cause a constitutional crisis because I believe John Boehner is going to violate the Constitution to push this through. A deal has already been made with Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, John Boehner, Marco Rubio, and the Gang of Eight. A deal has already been made, and they know exactly how to work these things, and it will happen before July 4th. And these people who we are going to explain to you, there are 70 that have signed on to this. There are 50 that are rock solid, I believe. Now, they say, 70, but they're going to get pressure. You darn right they're going to get pressure. They were spies for Boehner up on Capitol Hill when I was in the room with these guys, and I have never, ever seen this before. And they don't trust their own party. They know who's in bed with Boehner. They know who's in bed with everybody. And I will tell you that I have a very close friend that is in Congress, and I haven't had a chance. We've been trying to connect, and I haven't had a chance to tell him. But let me cryptically tell his family that I'm very close to. Your brother's in trouble. Your brother's in real trouble. These guys are so slippery that they can fool even the very elect. You don't know who the good guys and the bad guys are up there. It is truly amazing how the GOP is spying and torpedoing their own members. The Democrats didn't do this to the progressive movement, and look what we have. Instead, the leadership of the GOP has tied their wagon to the progressive movement. So you have the Progressive Caucus causing the Democratic Party and the media to cave. And the radicals have control of the Democratic Party and the media. And so what is Boehner's idea? Boehner's idea is let's hitch our wagon with John McCain and Lindsey Graham, and let's hitch our wagon to the Progressive Caucus. You will have a one-party system. But instead, what the Democrats did not do is stand against the rebels in their party who were pulling you, stated goal, pull you away from the Constitution. Instead, the Republicans and the Democrats decide to stand against the rebels that are saying, stick to the Constitution. It's the only thing that will save us. Here's the point that I'm going to make today, and I want you to hear me clearly. These guys are going to come under attack. They're going to be smeared. And these congressmen, many of them have chairs. They hold the chairmanships in many different caucuses. And they told me, Glenn, I have already been threatened. I'm going to lose my chair. You stand against me, said John Boehner. You stand against me, you lose your chairmanship. They are saying with this declaration, they are saying, I don't care. Go ahead. Take it away. But I want you to understand that you have been asking for people with a spine. They came to me yesterday and the day before, and they said, Glenn, you have been saying, where are the people with spines? You have been asking. The American people have been asking. It is incumbent upon you to tell the American people, this is the Alamo. This is the line in the sand. This is it. If you don't sell to the American people and tell them they have got to back these people and they have to rally unlike they've ever rallied before in a very short period of time, you have about 7 days.
And the problem is, unlike last time, you don't have a united Republican Party to fight against this immigration bill. But most of the Republican Party was against it. A lot of them are for this thing, and everybody's saying, oh, it's not so bad. You got Marco Rubio out there leading the way. They're lying through their teeth because we're being told this bill is worse by far than the one in 2006.
By far.
And it's in real danger of passing.
We are being told this is worse than universal health care. It'll
bankrupt the country.
It will bankrupt the country, and it will bankrupt easily. They are saying they're doing the same kind of parlor tricks that they did with the universal health care bill. They're saying, no, and they're playing all legalese, and they are going to fool the American people. And they said, Glenn, it is over. I'm telling you, the Constitution does not stand after this. It is over. You can forget about a 2016 election because it changes the dynamics of everything. And the Republicans actually think that, well, if we just hop on board. You see, John Boehner, I don't know if John Boehner believes a damn thing. I don't know if he believes it. Now, maybe he does. Maybe he believes everything he says, but he's not telling you the truth on what he believes. The same thing with John McCain and Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham is one evil guy. Lindsey Graham is, I don't like John McCain, but at least John McCain had one ray of sunshine in his life where he did the right thing and he was a hero. You know, John, I'm sorry to say, but what have you done for us lately? That was a great thing, but you can't feast on that the rest of your life. When it comes to Lindsey Graham doesn't have that bright point. He has no saving point, no saving grace. This guy he knows exactly what he's doing. I believe Lindsey Graham has sold himself to the devil 100%. I mean, when you're out there going, you know what? I'm not afraid of eavesdropping. I'm not afraid of a totalitarian state. What side are you on, Lindsey? These people are risking everything to stand against illegals being made citizens. It is a path to citizenship before border security. You can talk me into some sort of a citizenship thing. Once you got everything else taken care of, I'll sit down at the table and talk to you about the reasonable way to do it. Not going to probably make very much headway with me, but I'll sit down and talk to you about it. I'm not talking to you about jack until you can't tell me you have to spy on every American in this country because of our security. But you're going to open up the border and let anybody come through? Makes no sense. It makes no sense. It is wrong. It is wrong for America. It is wrong for the Constitution. Quite frankly, it's wrong for Mexico and the rest of the world. Because without the United States of America surviving, there is no survival of freedom. The reason why people come here to America is to escape the dictators and the thugs. We are becoming dictators and thugs. And they're doing it on political correctness. Here's Bobby Rush. Oh, you don't have it?
No, we don't have
audio.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's just something he spoke in private. But he did say, by standing together against the use of the term illegal, publicly elected representatives can avoid unproductive debates and discussions which are extremely offensive to those who have not been born in the U.S. Tough. If that's offensive to you, then don't come here illegally. How about that?
More than 50% of the Republicans who serve in the House of Representatives were elected after the 2007 amnesty fight. They have no memory of how intensely the American citizens opposed amnesty to the illegals. Senator Rubio said this will grant legal status to illegals first, with border security coming in second. He says that this was some sort of a translation error. Bull crap, Marco. Bull crap. Are you new to the Spanish language?
Is that really what he's saying? Is he really saying it was a translation error?
Yeah, he's saying that it was misunderstanding. It was translation. Exactly what President Obama said about, support of Israel. He says it one way, and then he's like, well, but that was misstated. That was sloppy. Really? As we all know, not true. Not true. Say what you mean and mean what you say, Marco. And stop being like Hezbollah. Why don't you say it in English? At least this. Say exactly the same thing in English. What Hezbollah does is they will tell you one thing in English and then they will say another in Arabic. And then they'll say, oh, well, but that's just for the locals. They're just pandering. Oh, that's just a misunderstanding in translation. Or hope that the American people will never hear it and it can't be played over and over again because it's in Arabic. It's not in English.
Yeah, it's interesting that Marco Rubio has never called a press conference in America and said, hey, look, here's what I want to do. Legalization first, and then we'll deal with border security. Nobody would ever have the giblets to say that.
And let's not give credit away to overseas. Hezbollah learned that from our politicians. Don't you dare give Hezbollah credit for that.
Mitch McConnell voted to begin the debate on the amnesty bill in the Senate. He said he will likely vote for it. John Boehner said an immigration amnesty bill will pass this year. Chuck Schumer is the one who's really written this bill. He's the one that has tainted Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio believes Chuck Schumer. You cannot trust a man who trusts Chuck Schumer. That man has absolute. There's the only thing you need to know. Marco Rubio trusts trust Chuck Schumer.
That's kind of a safe.
I
think that's a safe statement.
It's a really good bumper sticker. Yeah. You cannot trust a man who trusts Chuck Schumer.
If you think Chuck Schumer is an honest broker and is on the side of the Constitution, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong. And I have no time for you, Marco Rubio.
Yeah, why wouldn't you think that? Why does this guy want to work with me? Chuck Schumer, why would he want to work with me?
He really cares.
He really does.
He really cares.
Okay. I love the senator from New York leading the way on this, too.
Right, I know.
Rather than somebody from a border state like Texas.
You'll see the border states coming out against it. You see the border states will come against you.
The likes of Jeff Flake and John McCain.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I don't know what happened to them.
Let me just say this. Jeff Flake, I'm done with you. Yeah, I'm done with you. You have gone in and sold your soul for what, Jeff? For what? Are you crazy? Are you saying that this is the most compassionate? This is what Jesus would do? Give to Caesar that which is Caesar's, meaning you abide by the law. That's the first thing. And if you think it's compassionate, let's talk about the biggest city in your state now being the #1 kidnapping site in the world, Phoenix, Arizona. Talk to me about compassion. Talk to me about compassion. The biggest hole for current slavery is in your state. How is that? Drug lords. Don't talk to me about this. You secure the border. You secure the border. You want to talk about amnesty? Fine. Secure the damn border. You've sold your soul, Jeff, and I'm wildly disappointed, and I don't think you even care. But I'm wildly disappointed. I fought for you. I thought you were a good guy. I thought whatever. But I don't think you know who you're dealing with. And I don't mean me. I mean the evil people around you in Washington. You are throwing your lot in with some of the worst human beings to ever go in the House and Senate. You are throwing your lot in with people who do not view the Constitution the way you are supposedly viewing it. They do not view small government the way you do. Do you think John McCain is for small government, Jeff Flake? How can you possibly sit with it? Well, I don't agree with him on everything. I can probably safely say I don't agree or at least trust John McCain on anything. Jeff Flake, we should have voted you out. I've made a huge mistake. I've made a huge, huge mistake. I am sorry that I threw my support towards you. I am truly, truly sorry. Huge mistake. You get in there for how long, and all of a sudden you're throwing yourself in with big government people. Oh, well, he's right on this one. He's wrong on everything else. You think he's telling you the truth on this one? You have no judgment. Back in a second. First, our sponsor this half hour. I can see the look of disgust in Stu's eyes.
No, I blame Pat for that when he brought his name up. Totally Pat's fault.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. And if you think that your friendship, or if you think that, we were for you one day, we're going to always be for you, you're wrong. You violate the principles that you got in on. You violate those principles, we call you on it. And you are just as bad as Chuck Schumer. I don't care how right you are on some issues. And you know what? Rand Paul goes for you, too.